Santa Sana Warden, as we like to say here in Harambe, Twitney, which means let us go. Jambo, everybody, my name is Catherine. I will be your safari guide for today here on the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. Now, friends, I would like to remind you to please remain seated at all times with those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle as it goes through the reserve today. One more time, everybody, please remain seated. We also ask you to use hushed voices. Loud voices tend to scare animals and the driver, so please use hushed voices for us today. If you're going to be taking photos, have your cameras out and at the ready. I will not be able to stop for every animal here. Putting your cameras on live or sports mode will help you capture these moments. Now, this is a very rough and rugged terrain. Please hold on to all personal belongings. If something were to fall out of the vehicle, please just let me know so I can let the reserve wardens know. We'll get it back to you as soon as we possibly can, usually at the end of the night. And there's an animal spotting guide which is above your head. Use that as we go along. We should see all those animals up there. Now, due to natural migration and sometimes feeding and then sleeping, you might not spot every one of those animals out here. Now, our first 2 weeks are going to spend here in the Turi Forest. Here in the Turi Forest, animals use their natural colors and markings to blend into their surroundings. And we actually have quite a few animals right here. On the left, we have two. It's the bongo and the greater akudu. The bongo is the reddish-brown one with the horns. Greater akudus are the white-brown with no horns. And then if you look to the right, you're going to see the okapi. So we got quite a few animals here. We're going to start with the okapi and then come back to the other two. The okapi is a very shy and reclusive animal. The first one wasn't even spotted until 1901 by Western explorers. And then even more recently, the first baby okapi wasn't even spotted until 2016. So they're really good at blending in. Then you have the greater akudu. They were the lightish brown one. They had no horns. Those are females. Females have no horns, the males do. The females also like to live in a small herd of their best of friends, while the males like to wander in the wilderness by themselves. We'll come back for the bongo in just a moment, but if you look to the left on top of the hills here, you're going to see the black rhino. Black rhinos are very territorial animals. They like to live by themselves. They're actually the smallest rhino. Look on the top of the hill here again. The smallest rhino in Africa, weighing only at 3,000 pounds. Yeah, that's a small rhino. We also have the saddle-billed stork sitting right there on your left. That's a female saddle-billed stork. She has a yellow eye. The male has a dark brown eye, and they mate for life. But if one passes away, the other one will also pass away from heartache. Let's go back to that bongo we saw earlier. It's the reddish-brown one with the horns. Both the males and the females have horns in that family. Those horns can grow about 2.5 feet long, and they are tilted towards the back, so it's easy to get through the thicket with ease. And also, they are nicknamed the ghost of the forest since they are so rarely seen. Now, these animals and animals around the world, including our own backyard, are under constant threat due to habitation loss. Humans are mining and destroying these lands for precious metals that go into our electronic devices. That's why it's so important for us to remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle, so we can see these wild animals and their wild places for future generations. Now, our first animal is on your right-hand side. We're going to talk about the pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans get their name from the blush color on their backs during mating season. They are colonial nesters, which means they nest in very large groups, about 20 to 500 in a nesting group. We also see the Nile hippopotamus here. We actually have a group of Nile hippopotamuses here. A group of Nile hippopotamuses is called a bloat because they are bloated in size. Hey guys, sit down for us at all times. Thank you. Now, they do spend the majority of their time under the water. It helps them stay nice and cool. They even like to sleep under the water, holding their breath for about 8 minutes before needing to come up for a breath of fresh air. Well, normally, they do come out of the water at night to graze against the water's edge. Look to the left-hand side. We're going to look over the railing here. And they eat about 80 to 90 pounds of food a day. So they are hungry, hungry hippos. Hey, look, there's a bloat of hippos. Over on your left-hand side again, you're going to see the Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are one of the largest crocodiles here in Africa. They are 15 feet and 500 pounds. Yeah, those are some really large crocodiles. Now, a group of crocodiles on land is called a bask, because they are basking in the sun. And a group of crocodiles under the water is called a float, because they are floating in the water. Now, I love group names, so we're actually going to hear quite a few of them as we continue our journey to the reserve today. Now we're heading into the savannah. Here in the savannah, everything plays its part, from the plant life to the animal life. It is a very delicate ecosystem. Right here on your right-hand side, this is the baobab tree. The baobab tree is also known as the tree of life, which is the icon here at the park, is the tree of life. So it's actually the baobab tree. Now the reason why our tree looks the way it does is because it goes leafless for about 9 months out of the year. And it can live for thousands and thousands of years. And the reason why it's called the tree of life, well, it's because it holds water inside of its bark. So during seasons of no rain, animals can eat the bark and get water from it. Because water out here on the savannah equals life. So therefore it's called the tree of life. Now I do see a giraffe out here. There are actually quite a few giraffes out here. A group of giraffes like we have here on the reserve is called a tower. The reason why they're called a tower is because they tower over everything, being the tallest land animals. They do stand about 16 to 20 feet tall. Even their babies are tall. Baby giraffes stand at 6 feet tall when they're born. Let's look over here to the left-hand side. You're going to see a cave over here on the left. And there's a tree on the right-hand side of the cave. Behind the cave. Now behind the cave, next to that tree, is the painted dog. Painted dogs are very sociable animals. They like to live in a large group, about 5 to 30. They are led by an alpha male and an alpha female. You're going to see them as we come around the corner here. And they are wide range hunters. They need lots of space to hunt. But their space is becoming smaller and they're a rare sight to see. There are less than 7,000 painted dogs remaining in the wilderness today. Again, on the left-hand side in the far corner, over here in the bushes, you're going to see the sable antelopes. Sable antelopes are unique. They will stand their ground instead of backing down and running away from predators. Their horns are tilted towards their backs, so it's easy to fend themselves for any animal that would like to jump on their backs. Oh, and here's some wildebeest. I love talking about wildebeest. Wildebeest are the second most densely populated herd on planet Earth. Next to, anybody know what the most densely populated herd is out there? It's humans! Yeah, we are a densely populated herd. They are so densely populated, there's 1.5 million wildebeest in a herd. And a herd of wildebeest is called a confusion or an implausibility. Now the reason why is actually there is no alpha that leads the herd, so if one takes a right, they will all take a right, and they're kind of confused on where they're going. Look over here to the right-hand side, on top of the hill, by that lonely tree on top of the hill on the right. You're going to see the Hartman's mountain zebra on the top of the hill. The Hartman's mountain zebra like to live in a herd. A herd of zebras contain usually one male stallion and 2 to 3 females. A herd of zebras is called a dazzle, for what they do is group together and try to dazzle or confuse the predator with their stripes. If that does not work, their back kick surely will. A back kick from a zebra can break a lion's jaw. We also have up on the top of the hill, they're tiny little ones. They're laying down. There's one grazing as well. Those are called springboks. Springboks get their name from the ability to spring forward 13 feet and then up 6 feet. And they can do that repetitiously, meaning they don't have to stop to keep on springing. They are tied for the third fastest animal here with the wildebeest. Both springboks and wildebeest go 50 to 60 miles per hour. And of course we have some more giraffes out here. Giraffes do spend about 95% of their day eating. That is a lot of their time. Their tongues are prehensile. Prehensile means they can grasp at something like a hand or a finger. And they can also use their tongues to pick their noses. Now their tongues are purple in color to prevent sunburn since it spends so much time out of their mouths. Now 95% of their time is eating. When does a giraffe sleep then? A giraffe only sleeps 30 minutes a day. And the worst part is it's not even consecutively. It might be 5 minutes over there, maybe 5 over there. Looking to the left-hand side on the back wall, in the very far corner on the right-hand side of the back wall, there's one standing here as well with the bushes. These are the mandrill monkeys. Mandrill monkeys are very shy monkeys. They live deep inside the forest in very large social groups, about 100 in their family. The male mandrill is the one with a very colorful face and very colorful backside. The male mandrill also is the largest monkey on planet Earth, getting up to 100 pounds. Yeah, as large as a large dog. Let's see here. On your right-hand side, we may or may not see the male African elephant. I'm not sure. He was not out this morning so far, and I'm not seeing him there, but that's okay. Let's see if we can't spot him again while we go over the bridge on the right. Now, we know he's a male because he would be all by himself. That's how you know when they are male elephants. Male elephants will leave the herd of their mothers once they turn the age of 15. They may wander in the wilderness by themselves. Look to the right. Let's see if we can't spot this elephant. Or they may group up into small herds. A small herd of all male elephants is called a bachelor. No, he's just not out there yet this morning. He's a late riser. Yes, and they are quite eligible. Now, we should see some more elephants up ahead. The way we can tell these are male African elephants is because they are gray in skin color. And they also have big floppy ears. Now those big floppy ears are a way for them to stay cool. There are blood vessels behind their ears, and every time they flop those ears, they can cool themselves down about 15 more degrees. That wasn't built-in air conditioning. Oh, on your left, I do see those elephants over there. Now, elephants are constantly on the move for food. A singular elephant will eat about 300 pounds of food a day. A lot of that food actually they eat goes to waste because of their terrible digestive systems. But their poop, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Their poop is used to fertilize the ground and help spread seeds throughout the savanna. Now this herd you're seeing on your left-hand side is actually a herd of females. Unlike the male that we saw earlier, oh, actually we did not see them. The females will stay in the herd they were born into their entire life. So this is grandmothers, mothers, daughters, sisters, and their children. And this herd's name is called a memory. The reason why they're called a memory is because they never forget their family members. So if that male elephant ever returns back to the herd, they would remember him. And elephants are the second longest to reach adulthood. It takes them about 15 years to fully mature into an adult. But they do beat us in one place. They beat us in pregnancy. An elephant is pregnant for 22 months. 22 months means they're pregnant for 2 long years. On the left-hand side, you're going to have the greater flamingos. The greater flamingos are actually the lightest shade of pink of the flamingo family. Look to your right though, there's our elands. Elands are very tall antelopes standing at 6 feet tall. And they can live in almost desert-like conditions as long as there's some melons, onions, or leeks nearby. Let's go back to those greater flamingos. Now they get their pink color from their diets of different crustaceans such as brine shrimp. And this is a group of flamingos. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyancy because they live in very salty waters, making them quite buoyant. That's why they're called a flamboyancy. Okay, look to the left-hand side as we pass these rocks. Sometimes I see more elephants, sometimes I don't. There's one out there.
Ooh, there's another elephant.
Elephants get poached at a very alarming rate. Elephants get poached at about 100 per day. Look over here on your left-hand side. This is the white rhino here. White rhinos are actually a mispronunciation of an African word. Western Dutch explorers came to Africa and mispronounced the Afrikaan word wijd. Wijd in Afrikaan means wide because they have wide mouths. They're meant for grazing, so their mouths are flat. That's why they're called white rhinos. We're going to see some more down the way. That's why we're not stopping for them. Around the corner here on your left-hand side, you're going to see on the walking around here some cheetahs.
Look at the cheetah.
Cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They do go 0 to 60 within 3 seconds, which is as fast as the rocket roller coaster. Now they are daytime hunters, not nighttime hunters, because they are built for speed and not for power. Power hunters like the lion hunt at night, and they can't outpower the animal, so they have to wait for them to go to bed. They are also opportunistic hunters as well, because they can only keep their speed up for a very short period of time. But they are well equipped for hunting during the day. They do have excellent eyesight and hearing, and there's a little dark teardrop mark underneath their eye that helps reflect the light. On your left-hand side, you might recognize these rocks from the great movie, The Lion King. These rocks are actually called Okopi rocks. Okopi rocks are used as an animal hangout zone, so not just lions, but other animals as well. So let's see what kind of animals might be lying around here today. Now on your right-hand side, laying down on the ground, oh, actually look up on the hillside here. Here's a white rhino. This is baby white rhino. Mommy rhinos can get pregnant every 4 to 5 years, and they are pregnant for 18 months. When baby rhino is born, it's about 88 pounds, and they can weigh about 8 to 9 pounds a day.
Yeah.
And white rhinos are the largest rhino in Africa, weighing in at 5,000 pounds. Looking to the left-hand side, there's a little tufts of fur hanging out on the very far corner there. Those are the lions laying down on the very far corner here. I did see a little tufts of hair. There they are. This is a group of lions. There's 2 females and a male. They could just barely see her ear. A group of lions is called a pride.
Oh, yeah.
In the pride, the female does all of the hunting, and they are nighttime hunters, not daytime hunters. What does that male lion do when the females are out hunting? Well, he's a stay-at-home dad. He's going to stay at home and watch the kids. Let's see here. On the left-hand side, I didn't get lucky the last time I pulled around here. But let's see. Let's check in the burrows. Let's see if we can't slay ourselves some warthogs. They look like very fuzzy rocks when they're laying down. And I'm not seeing them again. That's okay. We're going to try it again on the other side. Let's look over here to the right-hand side. Don't get distracted by the white rhinos. We're going to talk about the guy laying down. He's called the banta buck. He's right there on the ground. Banta bucks were poached to near extinction for their coats, which are brown with a purpley underhue. They were poached so badly there were only 17 of them in existence at one point. Nowadays you can find banta bucks on protected lands and reserves, and their numbers are increasing. Out there in the distance we also have some ostriches. When you think about ostriches, you tend to think about black and white. Black and white are the male ostrich. Those are girls. They're gray in color. So those are the females. Contrary to popular belief, ostriches do not stick their heads in the sand when they're scared. No, they actually pretend they are a bush. If that does not work, they'll get up and run. An ostrich stride while running is 13 feet. And they go 40 miles an hour. They're actually the fastest 2-legged animal on planet Earth. Now we are heading down into the Warden's Outpost. Here at the Warden's Outpost, we live in the land, collecting rainwater in buckets for future use on our crops or animals. And we also practice composting, making healthy new soil. They do have this really adorable herd of the Nigerian dwarf goats as well. Now, Nigerian dwarf goats are a highly domesticated animal and can be found around the world. Farmers use them for their sweet milk that you can drink or turn into cheese or even skincare products. and they're easy on the land. They do take up less land and resources than a traditional herd. Well, my friends, our safari is coming to an end. I do hope you saw your favorite animals out here. I know I did. I saw the painted dog, so that made my day. I hope seeing your favorite animal also made your day as well. Now, these animals and animals around the world, including our own backyard, are under constant threat due to habitation loss or poaching. Disney has partnered with multiple foundations around the world to help these wild animals and their wild places. You too can help by donating to the Disney Conservation Fund at any merchandise location here at Animal Kingdom. Now, all donations are matched dollar for dollar by Disney, and they do directly go to a foundation that we support. Upon donating, you may also receive a Conservation Hero button as well. So my friends, while you're here at Animal Kingdom, please donate today to the Disney Conservation Fund and help these wild animals and their wild places. Now here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It's too bittersweet and it is way too final. So instead we say Kwaheri. Kwaheri means to go well in Swahili. So Kwaheri, everybody, go well and go well while you're here at Animal Kingdom. Now, if you are a wilderness explorer, you've been traveling on Simba 1. That's right, wilderness explorers, you are on Simba 1. That's page 14 of your wilderness handbooks.